You're at the Watchman Way. April 15th, 2020. My new studio on the road. Oh, wow. I like that different. Anyway, I'm still in Katati at my daughter's house. Had a false start this morning. Long story, no big deal. So probably headed out, no telling now, headed out to Arizona tomorrow, but it's kind of a day-by-day thing. I wanted to start, and if you guys, this is kind of a weird setup. If you guys can't hear me or can't see me, let me know, but I don't have a lot of options here right now, so I hope it's working. I want to talk about a video that's been circulating the last couple of days. Might even be a week, I'm not sure when it first came out. It's Chico and Debbie Jimenez. My biggest clue is that they say that Q doesn't know what he's talking about as far as what's going on in our government. That's a big red flag for me, because it's obvious that President Trump is working with Q. So how you can say Q doesn't know anything about the government, you're obviously a troll, because everyone who's done a couple of weeks research has looked at the Q proofs. There's no way that President Trump isn't working with Q. That's a fact. Indisputable fact. And that's what pisses a lot of these globalists off, the mainstream media. That's why they hate him tweeting, because he's connecting with us directly. Anyway, that's not where I was going with this. They're basically, in a nutshell, saying that President Trump has turned over control of our country to FEMA. And he's obviously a globalist insider, trader to America is basically what they're trying to say. It's astounding if you look at the big picture here, if you look where we were before President Trump announced he was running, well, most people thought all the way through. Hillary Clinton looked like a lock. If Donald Trump doesn't run for president, Hillary Clinton wins in a landslide. Okay, so why would the globalists, the deep state, let a guy who's supposed to be working for them destroy everything they've worked for over the last 300 years? He has torn the globalist agenda apart, destroyed it. There's nothing left. Why didn't they just let Hillary stroll in? Because he's not working for the deep state. I can't believe how many people who say they're awake, who say they're patriots, and who buy this garbage. When you look at this, there's absolutely no way anyone should take this seriously. Just by some of the things, like I said, with what they said about Q. We know factually that's not true. He's working inside the government. He has to be They're working together, POTUS and Q. Through the Q proofs, it's undeniable. So guys, there's going to be no FEMA control. And think about the other side of this. Oh, so they're talking about FEMA can make us sell our property, they can take our stuff, they can do this, they can do that. Really? They can? Bring it. 320 million Americans that are pissed off. And just think how pissed they'd be if FEMA took control. Oh, God. 320 million Americans with 500 million guns and billions of rounds of ammunition. Bring it, FEMA. FEMA tries to take over our country. Let's see how long that lasts. It's total crap. It's trying to create distractions. And it's kind of working because here we are talking about it. I have to talk about it because I had 2 or 3 members point this out to me. I'd already seen it. It's garbage. It's trolls trying to distract you. It's not patriots. Couldn't be a patriot. Couldn't be an awoke patriot. Let's put it that way. Because there are a lot of misguided patriots out there. I'm arguing with them almost every day. The people that are bitching about our constitutional rights. First of all, when the president declares a national emergency, it pretty much sets the Constitution aside. For this period of time, he can pretty much do whatever he wants. It's in the Constitution. So, yes, under normal situation, it would be a violation of our Constitution. But when it's a national emergency, it's not. So don't go there. He's doing this for a reason. The people that don't understand by now, the mortality rate of the virus is 1/3 that of the flu. 1/3 that of the flu. This is nothing more than the flu. The only people that are dying from it are dying because they took Advil or ibuprofen. All the other ones were heart attacks, or we had one friend who has a nurse. The guy died in hip surgery from complications. They put it down as COVID, the virus. They're inflating the numbers, and they can still only get 1/3 of the flu. Listen, they wanted us off the streets. I've been talking about this for months, about sleeper cells that were going to be released and hit big groups. Theaters, malls, churches, sporting events. They can't do it now, can they? I almost lost you, I think. This was for our protection. This is nothing to get excited about. Keep doing what we're doing. Don't lose track of what they're afraid of, which is all of us waking up, which is all of us standing up, which is happening around the world. We talked about, I think, Iran yesterday. A few weeks ago, they murdered 1,500 citizens that were protesting in the streets, shot them in the streets. 1,500. The next week, there was 1 million. People aren't standing for it anymore. And these governments, they can't, in today's world, we're never going to have another Jewish situation in Germany where they were allowed to murder millions of people. Can't happen today. The world's too small. There's too many cell phones with cameras. Can't happen today. The world won't stand for it. Won't let it happen again. So China's not going to be able to do it. Iran's not going to be able to do it. I don't think Russia wants to. I think Russia's going to go democratic. I think they're going to be the first one. And within 10 years, China's going to follow one way or another. I was saying it would be awesome if it happened this year, and it could. With God's help, if God gets involved in this, he could end communism this year. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I know that it's going to end. The only reason communism got a hold was because the globalists pushed it. Because they wanted that kind of control. They damn sure didn't want what we had, a constitution that meant something. At least it did then. But you could see where this was going, guys. They were eventually going to wipe the constitution. You could tell by the talk the last few years. They were going to trash our constitution. When they got the numbers, it was going to happen. Look at just in the past couple of years, how many people running for office actually said they'd come and take our guns forcefully. 50 years ago, the guy might have been hung, but he damn sure would have been out of the race. These are the leaders in the Democratic Party. These are the front runners. We dodged the bullet. And the only reason, God and President Trump, that's why we're on the verge of man's greatest achievement. That's what I just don't get, guys. How does anybody buy this story? They came up with some crazy ass interpretations of the press conference at President Trump, and that he's talking code to these guys. Sounds exactly like what a troll would say. You can't get that much stuff wrong and attack him like they did, and either you're real ignorant or you're a troll. And in this situation, I'm calling troll. We can't allow, we're at war. I don't care, declared or not, when you see what's happening, when you see these kids coming out of these bunkers and the pictures and the stories and the videos, this is happening. Our world is changing in front of our eyes. We're watching man's greatest achievement. President Trump is playing a role right now. Just let him do his job. And at this point, what are you going to do? You're going to vote for somebody else? Pence, maybe? Who's going to be executed for treason and murdering children? This couldn't be going any better for us. Don't let trolls get you off track. Don't let trolls get you distracted. We have one focus right now. Red pilling and preparing. If you're not red pilling and preparing, you're doing the wrong thing. Okay. Make sure I got everything here. They're trying to turn all the success President Trump has been having. It's the divide and conquer thing, guys. Dow was down 445. Litecoin was down, 50 cents, 39.44, something like that. It's hanging right there at 44, 45. Actually, right around 40. China had a harsh statement today about POTUS chopping the World Health Organization funding. Curious, huh? As POTUS said, the U.S. is examining possibility of the virus leaked was leaked from the Wuhan biolab. So there's some chess playing going on there. And I'm still thinking that China's in on this with President Trump and Putin. I think all three countries are working together. For sure, without question, Russia and America are. And I think China's in on it too. I think China backstabbed the deep state. Yeah, I think they didn't release what the deep state wanted them to, the globalists. Yeah. And you know, this is the other one. Everybody in a panic because President Trump put Gates' favorite stooge, Dr. Fauci, in charge of the virus outbreak. He was our main go-to guy, right? He was the preeminent expert. He was calling the shots. Bill Gates' stooge. He worked him again. He let him think that they were going to have something to say. That if they said the force, because remember, he was kind of going along with this clown at first, making him think that, okay, yeah, sure, whatever you say. And now, you think President Trump, and of course, you know what Gates' agenda is. He wants a population of 500 million. He wants to murder 7 billion people. He comes out and says it. Again, you know, it's obvious what's going on. You know, he lets them think he's fallen into their trap, and then all of a sudden, they're left hanging. Gates is, I'm telling you, probably both these guys are going to be at Gitmo. For sure, Bill Gates is. I think they've got several treason / murder charges against him. I just heard a video today. And, you know, this is coming secondhand. It was supposedly an IT guy who was working on all of the, well, I think it was actually Bill Gates's computer system. And as he was going through it, he got into a file that was loaded with pedophilia. And, you know, horrific stuff. It's like the HRC, the Hillary Clinton snuff video type stuff. And he actually went to a law firm to try and see how he could protect himself. He was afraid he was going to get snuffed out. But then they found that the lawyers made him go back into the system just to kind of make sure what was going on. And it wasn't just Gates. It was virtually every top official at Microsoft was into this crap. This is when people, the hardest thing is going to be for people, the scope of this thing. You know, I've said before, you know, if we're talking about 50 people at the top of this leading this satanic pedophilia, and there aren't much more than that, this is a lot easier thing to deal with. We're talking about thousands of people. Thousands of the wealthiest people in the world doing this stuff. So thousands of the most powerful people in the world doing this. They were all in on it. To get in on the club, you had to do it. If you're going to be in the club, all these people, all these celebrities have sold their soul to the devil. That's basically what they're doing. When they do this, they're selling their souls to the devil. That's why you see them lashing out now. Look at all the stars that are attacking President Trump. Wait till you see how many of them get executed. And not because they attacked President Trump, for the things they did, for the crimes they committed, most of them against children. Some of them treason, a lot of them both. Listen, I don't care what industry you're in. When you're conspiring to remove a duly elected president of the United States, that's treason. That's a capital offense. You could be hung if convicted, and I think they're going to hang him. I think they're going to hang them all. I hope they do. And so for sure, listen, the politicians, they held them in prison the rest of their lives. But if you tortured and murdered a child, I know what I'm doing if I'm a judge. Yeah, you're done. See ya. Because, and you know what they do at a military tribunal? There's no appeal. They walk you right out of the courtroom and hang you. That's what they need to do with these people. Any traitor, any satanic pedophile, anyone who murdered a child needs to be executed. They shouldn't be on this earth. Then God will give them their real judgment. We start at the beginning. Let's see. Yeah, he dangled the carrot for them and they walked right into it. Houston, the banks have a problem. They're getting flooded with defaults. Derivatives are going crazy. $1 quadrillion in derivatives. I don't know how many zeros that is. It's ridiculous. The world cannot survive this, guys. Anyone who doesn't see that this is over, you need to do your homework, because if you're not prepared for this, you're going to lose anything you have in the bank. Almost everyone I know, well, how am I going to put this? I'm surprised how many people who, and I don't know, maybe, I guess for some people, they put, they kind of gauge what they want to make sure, how they want to be protected. And so I think we have a lot of members who have, and I don't mind this, but think about this for a second. Let's just say, for example, and I know there's people out there because I've talked to them. Let's just say you have $100,000 to work with. That's what you have in liquid assets. Banks, stocks, whatever. I think a lot of people, when they hear these numbers, $3 million apiece, they kind of think a number in their head, what they would like to have. And so they got $100,000, but they get to their number with only $25,000 invested. So they're going to leave $75,000 in the bank or in the stock market or whatever. I think that's a huge mistake. And I know there's a lot of people out there doing it. I just talked to one. Anything you leave in the bank, you're going to lose. It makes... Did I lose you? I think I lost you for a second. If you're concerned about Litecoin, if you're concerned about the nature, it's new and nobody knows much about it yet, put it in silver. Silver's been money for 5,000 years. Here's my take between silver and Litecoin. I believe that Litecoin is going to have the best return on investment of any asset in history. There is 2-3% chance that it could completely fold. Silver isn't going to have anywhere near the return Litecoin, not even close. It's going to be great compared to gold, but it's not even going to hold a candle to what Litecoin does. If you're worried about it, go with silver, because silver is going to jump to 170, 200 in a couple of weeks. As soon as they go to a gold-backed currency, who knows what it's going to go to then? It might go to $5,000. It's going to be 1,000 by the end of the year. So be more conservative, but don't let them have your money. I've had people tell me, well, FDIC. FDIC, when this goes down and the banks fail, they've got enough to pay you 3 cents on the dollar based on the deposits that are in the bank right now. So if you're okay getting 3 cents on the dollar, go ahead, leave it. Or put it in silver and do no worse than holding its value. And I'm going to guarantee you, it's not going to hold its value. Silver is probably, well, except for of the traditional assets, not counting cryptocurrencies, it is the most manipulated downwardly asset in the world if you take out cryptocurrencies. It's going to have a huge return. So, okay, be more conservative, but don't leave money in the bank. Because this is the other thing. People still don't understand. No, FDIC, 3 cents on the dollar. The laws changed 3 years ago in America. When the banks go belly up, well, our deposits are considered loans to the bank. So when they go belly up, we go down to the bottom of the list of creditors, which means we're not getting anything. Why would you do that? For the 10 or 15 minutes is going to take, if that, 5 minutes is going to take you to take care of this, why would you lose $75,000? If we're talking, putting 25 in and leaving 75,000 in the bank, why would you do it? Because here's my point. Maybe, and I had this conversation, I think I've talked about it before, a lady a year ago who was very wealthy. And she was concerned because she was going to load up and, hundreds of thousands of dollars loading up. Our biggest investor by far at that time. And she was, well, am I taking it away from someone else? She was concerned. She had to, I appreciated her concern. But I told her, listen, we're never going to buy this up before it happens, number one. And number two, God wants it in people like you, in your hands. The people who think like you. The people who are going to pay it forward. What it's doing is giving you a bigger chance to have a bigger impact in the future. Because you're going to take more of that money and pay it forward. So buy as much as you can. That's how you have to think of this. Not what's my comfort level. Not what I'm going to be comfortable with. What can I do with this money in the future? How many people can I help? Listen, the Watchmen, we're going to cure homelessness in America first. We're going to cure hunger in America and in the world. To do these things, it takes money. And the system, there's no middleman here. We're going to get a donor, and that donor is going to put funds directly in the hands of who needs it. It goes straight to the streets. There's no percentages taken out. No one takes a cut. It's 100% to the streets. It's the way. The church that Jesus taught 2,000 years ago. The church that God, 10 weeks ago or so, called me to lead the revival of. No priest, no pope. There's no ministers. We're all equal. No one has control. The money goes from our hands into the hands of the needy. You tell the truth every time. You do the right thing every time. You live your life in the service of others. You treat others with respect. No violence, except in the case of self-defense. There's no holes in this thing. It's the purest form of religion on the face of the earth. The elites never adopted it because they couldn't control us with it. They couldn't bleed us dry with it. They wanted the control of the priest and the pope, them ruling over us, guilting us. The whole thing's been corrupt, guys. Religion from day one's been corrupt. And it's been used to divide and conquer us and control us. Anyone who's preaching anything like that, run, because it's not the way. The way is pure. Anyone who's teaching a lot of things you see, A lot of things you see in a lot of the holy books aren't tolerated in the way. I mean, look at some of the things the Quran says. Bestiality is okay. Raping little boys is okay. And yet they'll throw homosexuals off a building. The same guy who raped a little boy in the morning has the gall to say, that's not homosexuality. He'll go up on top of a building, they'll throw a gay person off the roof. That's what they do in the Quran. Yeah. Murder your wife if she gets raped. That's not the way. It's lunacy. It's ignorance. I mean, anyone who would condone that is ignorant. That's not acceptable in a civilized society. And a religion that contradicts the way or a civilized society really has no place in the world. You know, if it's reformed, maybe, but whatever. That's not my battle to fight. All I know is, and all I'm concerned with is the way and the purity of it. And it is pure. And we will make sure it stays that way. There's going to be no gray area. This is all black and white. Now, not to say that there aren't instances that you face in your life that, you know, when God sees these little things, he's not judging you on them. So no matter which way you go in a gray area, for example, your wife comes out in a new dress and asks you how she looks. What are you going to say? You look great, honey. No matter what. That's not judging you on that. And there's a lot of little things in life you face that, you know, as long as you're trying to do the right thing, that's what God's looking at. You know, those things don't change anybody's lives. I mean, they do if you do the wrong thing, it can. But when you're trying to do the right thing, you're always going to be okay in God's eyes. You know, people make mistakes. God accepts that. I mean, the way is never going to be perfect. I keep saying we're going to have heaven on earth as close as we can get to heaven as human beings. You know, we're imperfect, but think about getting rid of 90% of the evil in the world at the same time that the way is taking hold. And God tells, come to me disgusted by what their churches are preaching or not preaching because of restrictions, because they're a 501c3. Can't speak out about abortion or they lose their 501c3. God doesn't want governments controlling religion, his word. This is all common sense. And this is all easy. You just need to think about it. I keep talking about it, guys, and it's the most important thing I can tell you. Use your critical thinking skills. When you see something like the video I was just talking about, that I started with, before you go sideways, sit down and listen and look at it critically. Analyze every point. If something doesn't fit, dig deeper. When you do that, you'll hardly ever get pointed in the wrong direction. When you're trying to do the right thing. And the right thing for us, red pilling and preparing. Don't get distracted. Guys, this is all good. I mean, I keep saying, if everybody could see what I see, we'd be having parties every day. Our future is so bright, it's blinding me. It's hard to describe the brilliance I see, the beautiful world I see, the compassionate world I see. We're going back in time. I mean, I remember growing up in the 50s and the 60s. even though my childhood wasn't great, I mean, we had the feeling of our country, the feeling we had for each other. I see that coming back. I see it already. I was just talking to my cousin this afternoon. Great guy. His dad was the most inspirational figure in my life. Was like a dad to me, and that's how I thought of him. But he was a well-educated guy. Actually was a fighter pilot, I think, in the Navy, and had some physical issues. And then he was in the seminary and was going to be a priest. And in the late 60s, he was at a seminar, and they were talking about how do we get people to look to us as basically their overlords, that they'll look to us on what to do. That was the theme of the seminar. Trying to get more control in people's lives. Not how do we help them, how do we control them? He left. That was it for him. He was done. You know, I mean, we all know the story of the Catholic Church, but it goes so much further than that. And it's not just this last pope. The Catholic Church has been corrupt from day one. I mean, here's something for you history buffs. The Bible was assembled in 330 AD, Council of Nicaea, by Emperor Constantine, a guy who would be a globalist today. He was an emperor. Why is an emperor assembling the Bible? We have been manipulated since Babylon. These people have ruled over us since Babylon. It's all coming to an end. We're in the middle of it right now. What's going on right now is changing the world forever. Ways that you can't imagine. I mean, I keep saying, think about tonight. When you're laying in bed, waiting to go to sleep, think about the most perfect world you can envision. I'm going to tell you, we're going to surpass it, because we don't even understand. I said the other day, it's like a caveman trying to describe a spaceship. You know, how are you going to do that? For something you've never seen before, something you can't explain. That's how good it's going to be. Beyond our imagination. That far ahead. So quit being distracted and stay focused on our goal, because every person matters. Every dollar matters for us. I was just telling the kids today, to me, I need a haircut bad. I have an excuse because no barbers are open. But, it's $20. To me, that's $1 million. A haircut's $1 million. I've been stretching my haircuts out 2 or 3 weeks, 4 weeks longer than I normally would, because I think of it as $1 million. Because you put $20 in Litecoin today, that's over $1 million. That's how you need to think about this, guys. Because that's the reality of it. So why anyone would leave, I'm fighting these bastards. Maybe it's because I know how much they've stolen from us. I don't want them to have an extra penny. I want no more than $100 in the bank at any time. If I don't have a bill to pay for a couple of weeks, I got $100 in the bank. I don't want them to get any more of my money. And I damn sure wouldn't have thousands of dollars in there. And you can't wait till the last minute. I was just talking to one of the members this morning. He had to make an appointment to come back. You think you're going to do that the day before or the day of? Good luck. You won't get anything then. Because by the time you get there, they're going to be out. They don't have any more money. That's why they have to do this. Because they had to get it from another branch. Listen, never a time in my life have I seen a bank that you couldn't go in and pull out 100% in cash anytime you wanted, up until 10 years ago to 15 years ago, ballpark. It's been drying up since '08. They got nothing left. There's so much debt throughout the world, throughout corporations. Anything they're showing on the books that makes them look profitable are assets that are worthless. It's all paper. It's all going to zero. If not for you, for the people you can help with this money, that's how you have to look at it. Go through the inconvenience of putting, if it's an extra $100, I don't care. It all matters. Every dollar matters. Every person matters. Think of it that way. These are tools God's giving us to shape our new world. Take advantage of this. We control our own destiny, but only if we seize it, only if we're bold. This is not a time for the weak-hearted. This is a time for the warriors. You know, God didn't pick me because I'm meek. You guys aren't here because you're meek or sheep. You're here because God sees something in you. God knows who you are deep down. We all have it in us. We all have the power to be strong. We all have each other to lean on. Don't be weak now. Now's the time to stand up. Now's the time to do God's work. Now's the time to be bold. Oh, and here's talking about these clowns. I mean, how would you like to play in a game that you could only win? That you could play as crazy as you wanted, be reckless. Anytime you won, you got to keep everything. But if you lost, you got a mulligan, basically a redo, and everything got wiped out. You didn't lose anything. Wouldn't you want to play in that game? Because that's what the globalists are playing with our money. All these crashes have been engineered. Look what happened after 29. Guess who ended up with most of the assets, most of the property? The banks. The same people that President Trump is going to take down worldwide. It ends now. There's no more do-overs. There's no more mulligans. You know, there's going to be a reset. Everything's going to get wiped out. Most of these bankers are going to be in jail, if not executed. Again, we should be celebrating. Oh, here we go. IMF, listen to this one. IMF and World Bank announced debt jubilee for the world's poorest countries. They're negotiating. They're trying to see what we'll stand for. What they're hoping, they're trying to see how little they can get away with. In other words, if this goes worst case scenario, they're all done. It's over. They lose everything. But if they can only give back, half the countries, Well, they're still in business. Sorry, guys. It's not going to happen. It's going to be a jubilee for everyone. There's going to be a worldwide economic reset. It's a mathematical certainty. And it's happening because of President Trump, who has God's hand on him, guiding and protecting him. Yeah. 3.5 billion in taxpayer money has gone to the World Health Organization since 2010. So in 10 years, well, we gave them some. Most of it came from Obama. The World Health Organization. Why are they getting that money? To do what with? Not help us. We're broke. We shouldn't be giving anybody anything. At least at this point. Listen, the UN is done. I think NATO's done. For sure, the central banks are done. Well, all the big banks are going to be gone. We're going to go back where I was kind of going before, was going back in time and family and having time to spend with your family. I think that's the great thing about, my cousin and I talked about this, about what's happening is people have time now, not only to kind of research what's been going on, but to reconnect with their families because everybody's off now. So you have time to catch up with people and get back into that. I mean, they were running us around like hamsters on the wheel, right? Both parents had to work. We were on some people, in some families, there might have been 5 or 6 jobs between the two parents just to make ends meet. How do you have a family life when you live like that? How do you raise your kids? You don't. And that's what they wanted. That's all coming to an end. Think about what that means to the world. That's why I'm going back to when I was a kid. My mom didn't have to work. You know, it's a better time. And I think that's what's going to happen. We're going to understand that technology has a place in our future, but it can't be the main focus of our lives because that creates really shallow people. And that's probably what we're suffering from most of all, is people who think that what they wear or watching the championship game or who's winning the Super Bowl or the fight is the most important thing. It's not. God, country, family. Somebody asked me, well, I'm not going to go there right now. We're getting back to a better time. We're getting back to where people, all of these little towns who have basically been shuttered, great little towns around the country, they're going to blossom. Because in the world that's coming, more people are going to be able to work from home. We're going to use technology. Here's the other thing. Up to this point in our history, technology has been used more to control us than it has been to improve our lives. From this point forward, it's going to be the reverse. It's not going to be there to control our lives at all. It's going to be here to make our lives better. That means working from home, no matter where that is. Eating dinner with your family every day. Having a couple of months off vacation every year. Only having to work 40 hours a week or less. How about a 30-hour work week being normal? How about that? We could do this. When we put the trillions of dollars a year that's been stolen from us into our system, we got free health care. We got people working 20-hour weeks. We got heaven on earth. Um, it doesn't get any better. I couldn't write a better script. Like every day it gets better than I can imagine. And people are still have anxiety, are still worried. There is nothing to worry about. There is nothing to fear. There is nothing to agonize over. It's all good. Take a deep breath. Listen to me. Trust me. You don't need to have a stroke. I had one for you. It's all coming back, guys. We just have to be patient. And don't get distracted. Use this time to do God's work. Red pill and prepare. Focus on that. Yeah. Here's another one. Google has been subpoenaed for HRC's emails. You know, the ones that were supposedly bleach-bitted. They've got them, I guess. Well, I think the NSA does too, but they might be setting Google up to see if Google really comes out with all the information. Because I think the NSA's already got it. Well, I know they've already got it. I mean, they record everything, guys. Every email, every text message gets recorded. Every call. U.S. Mint halts all production, blaming the virus. At the same time, coins, gold and silver coins, reach almost all-time highs. In other words, if it would have gone another week, we'd be at all-time highs. They're shutting down because they're out. Not because of the virus. It's getting harder and harder to find it, guys. So don't wait. Every day you wait, it gets harder to find. Don't put yourself through that. Do it now. U.S. virus death toll passes 30,000 people. 30,000 people, guys, in a country of 320 million. And that's over months now. It's just the flu. And most of those people either died from something else or died because they took Advil, not because of the flu. This thing's going to be a tenth of what the flu is. That's what it's going to be. 1/10 of what the flu is, the mortality rate. So you think they shut the worldwide economy down, that has already caused a worldwide economic collapse. You can't recover from this. We're past the event horizon. It doesn't make any difference what happens from here on out. We can't come back from this. Get your money out now. Get it out or lose it. Mexico downgraded to one notch above junk on imminent severe recession. U.S. may pay shale drillers billions to leave oil in the ground because the glut is killing the price. You know, they won't actually cut back on production for the first time since the 70s, I think. Stocks stumble as critical levels after economic data crashes at record pace. Today was a bloodbath for economic data. Oh, and that was before tomorrow's horrible continuation of jobs claims, with almost every item experiencing record collapses. This is done. Well, Pony says the 21st. Might happen before then, guys. Get your money out. Anyone who still has money in the bank, stocks, etc., needs to wake up. It was perfectly timed. You know, they kept referring to President, he was talking about, he was kind of talking in code, right? But what he's talking about, The new things they're doing, they're enforcing the Constitution. It hasn't been done in a long time. They're arresting satanic pedophiles. Hasn't been done. They're putting an end to the corruption and manipulation in our financial system. Rebooting. That's what they're doing. Think about it. Does it make more sense when you look at the scope and you see exactly what's happening? What scenario makes more sense? That he's doing everything for us or doing it for the globalists? It's clear. He's doing it for us. Okay. Now this is going to be tricky because I'm going to have to hold this for the questions. If we have enough cord. Oh man, let's see. How can I do this here? Let's see. Okay, guys. Actually, this could work out all right. Tessie, how you doing? Cecil? Paul? How you doing? Not gonna work. Tom, what's up? Cecil hasn't cut his for 6 months. Well, I might go for a record, Cecil. We have to battle this out. Gary cuts his own hair. Do you even have any hair left, Gary? I don't have much left. Kevin's wife does his. Yeah, well, I need a new wife. Who wants to cut my hair? I'm going to be in Arizona. Dallas, what's up? Deborah, hello. Tina. Yeah, Tina's saying all the men are buying shears and cutting their own hair now. Well, I guess that's an option. Yeah, okay, Gary. Thank goodness for good friends. That's right, Cecil. David, what's up? Kevin? You're welcome, Kevin. God bless, Gary. Rhonda, how you doing? Internet just requested Rhonda out. Requested timeout? Oh, that's funny. John, what's up? Timothy, what's up? Yes, we all, if you don't love your president, something's wrong with you. Because we have never had anybody like him. Sherry, how you doing? Yeah, political post against China. Ooh. I got some sun the last couple of days. Whoop. Uh-oh. Fat fingers. Community banks. Well, hopefully we'll see what happens. But, we're going to have banks for a little bit. But they're not our future, guys. With cryptocurrency, you don't need banks. And trust me, after everybody sees what they've been doing, nobody will put their money in a bank again. That's why another reason cryptos are going to go. Deborah's mother didn't work. My mom never worked. My mom never had a job. Yeah, pray for the elderly and the poor because it's tough out there, guys. That's why this has to end. Vinny, what's up? It's not scary, guys. Listen, it's only scary if you don't see what's going on. It's not really scary. It's just look at it. We're in the middle of man's greatest accomplishment. We're taking down the satanic pedophiles that have ruled our world since Babylon. These people in America alone were stealing 800,000 of our children every year. That's a fact. Look it up. Last several years, 800,000 kids missing in America. That's coming to an end. The corrupt banking system that's stolen us blind for over 100 years, coming to an end. All the corruption in our government, coming to an end. Tell me where the scary part is. Listen, surviving in this world means that you've got to accept change. Don't be scared by change. There's nothing to be afraid of. Everything that's coming is for our good. Everything that's coming makes our future not bright, but brilliant. There's no downside to this, guys. It's all upside. Now, guys, here we go again. Do not get ramped up here. Listen, the worst thing we can do right now is start protesting. Because the thing that the president is trying to protect us from, sleeper cells attack, they're going to love 5,000 protesters marching together when they've got 5 guys with 30-round clips and 30 of those 30-round clips spraying crowds with automatic weapons. You want to be in that crowd? You want to give the enemy that target? Use your heads. Use your critical thinking skills. Stay home. You're not going to accomplish anything. The things you're worried about, the constitutional violations, will be addressed by President Trump. Every single one of them. Trust the plan. Let President Trump do the job we elected him to do. He's not working for the globalists. He's working for us. God showed me these things. Elida, how you doing? Keep your guns close. The Lord is in full control. The Lord wants this to happen. Listen, you got President Trump has God on his side. I know the ending to this story. And not just because God showed me, because my critical thinking skills points to who's winning this. It's over. We're in the mop-up phase right now. Listen, guys, don't be fooled. Well, never mind. Yeah. Cecil understands. He's herding sheep to the slaughter, is what President Trump's doing. He's making him think that they've got him off track. He's toying with them. It's like a cat with a mouse. He's 10 steps ahead of these guys from day one. Get on board. Don't listen to the trolls or the people preaching fear porn. Nothing to fear. This is all good, guys. Everyone should be excited. Like Rita. Be like Rita. We're going to have t-shirts made. Be like Rita. She's excited. Silver and Litecoin are going to go crazy, guys. Kathy went through it today. Ask Kathy about getting your money out of the bank. They didn't want to give it to her. Yeah. Listen, guys, use your heads. Situational awareness, use your heads. Don't get in any confrontations that you don't have to. Be smart right now. There are going to be people that may try and bait you if they think you're a conservative or a Trump supporter. Don't fall for that crap. We have to be smarter than them. Deborah, how you doing? Cindy Lou, how are you? Yep, that's right, Cindy Lou. Amen, Kevin. Keith, what's up? Oh, Brian, happy birthday. Good night, Mike. Don't forget Mike for Mike Jan Man for your colloidal silver, guys. It's a lot less expensive than the health food stores, and he produces it himself. Good quality stuff. Yeah, I'm reading them any way I can, Gary. Yeah, just be lucky I'm reading them. It's been a crazy couple of days. Nothing backs Litecoin. Well, except the technology. It's the future, guys. Don't get listen. Cryptocurrencies are the future of money. That's a fact. God showed me Litecoin. 25,000 hours of research confirmed what God showed me. I don't know what else to tell you. Litecoin, physical silver. I'm making it easy. God's making it easy for you. Trust me. Could you imagine trying to wade through 2,000 different Litecoins, 2,000 different cryptocurrencies to figure out which ones you wanted to invest in? It would be a nightmare. God's made it easy for you. There's too many homeless on the street. We're going to fix that. That's going to be our first order of business as watchmen. Ending homelessness. Be our first big push. Soon, I hope. Kathy, how you doing? Andrea, how you doing? Yeah, you got the governor of California giving money to illegals. Well, I think Newsom is going to be a Gitmo before the 2020 election, probably before summer, and summer's coming up. Playing poker, that's right, Amanda. Cecil was impressed with President Trump. I was too. Oh, it's not mine. This is my daughter's place, Tessie. Jeannie just bought 1,000 Litecoin. Good job, Jeannie. Don't forget your silver. Brian, what's up? Yeah. My niece Danielle, her partner was listening to Rush, and Rush said Disney is part of the cabal. And supposedly, I don't watch Rush much except for isolated clips. Um, he's never said that before. This is happening. That they're mentioning Disney like this, and these guys are on big stations. They don't let them say stuff like that because they don't want to get sued unless it's 100% true. It's happening, guys. This is going down. Kathy had someone ask her about Litecoin today. Good. You're welcome, Brian. You're welcome, Cecil. Dennis is missing his overpaid actor show for me. Well, thank you, Dennis. Let's work on getting me a contract on Fox. That would be a way I would take money for doing this. If Fox put me on the air, I'd take money for that. Donate most of it, but I'd take money. I haven't taken a penny so far. Not one penny for anything I've done. Don't plan to. I guess that's a little bit different deal. We'll talk about it if it ever comes up. Or, you know, the other thing is, and this is going to happen, you're going to start to see conservative billionaires buy news organizations and convert them 100% conservative. That's where someone like me is going to find a home that I could get paid for and deliver my message to a lot more people. You're welcome, Deborah. Yeah, Disney was the devil. Raylyn, how you doing? Thank you. Kathy. Oh, Kathy. Kathy says, I'm too good for Fox. Well, thank you, Kathy. You're welcome, Darren. Well, trust me, if I went to Fox, they're not getting anything but the truth. That's in my contract. I'm going to say what I want or I'm going somewhere else. You don't like it? Tough shit. Nobody but God tells me what to say. I don't care how rich you are or what your contract is. I'm not changing my message for money. Okay, guys. I'm over again. Oh, yeah, last night, we'd gone an hour and a half, and I thought we'd gone a half an hour. See how this is a time thing, guys. See, now we're just over an hour. So remember, be positive. Don't get distracted. First, what's the first question? How would you like to be a part of the greatest transfer of wealth in human history? That's how we get them started. Get them in, get them prepped and prepared. Every person matters. Time's short. Let's make the final push. Got to end with our prayer for God and country. Amen. I'll see you tomorrow night at 5 Pacific. God bless.